okay, give it a prompt because AI works with a prompt, right? It depends on the prompt you are giving that AI. If you say, AI, I want to practice, let's say you are using, what I can recommend is the audio AI,
Okay.
right? Let's say it's an audio AI and then you are alone in the room, put it there, right? Just to boost your confidence, right? Maybe use the mirror. Use the mirror where you can see you, right? And now give it a prompt because AI doesn't know that when you are preparing for a senior role now, right? You'll be interviewed for the senior role. If you just say, AI, help me with this interview preparation, and then it will just ask you like, this generic questions, these normal questions, and then it doesn't know that now when it must ask you, questions for higher roles that you're gonna play there. So make sure you give it a right prompt. If you say for a senior position, it means it will be asking you questions that are meant for a senior role. Don't say you are a good packer and what you are punctual and what. Those are like is a preparation for a lower level position, not a senior position. Yeah, but another thing, when they track your CVs, don't even use, this colorful CVs must, and what. When they track it, the system will never pick it up, so it will be rejected. Yeah, but avoid. This CVs must, people know this CVs with colors. Some are blue and what this nice looking CVs and what. Okay, that CV you can use it maybe only if you know that it's like when you drop it somewhere. But if you drop it by hand, let's say maybe around, maybe where you are staying, maybe in the same town where you wanna drop it, it's okay. But if you wanna use recruiters, it will be rejected because they are also using these tracking systems. That's why I'm saying it must be ATS friendly and all that. I cannot share too much, guys. I cannot share too much.
You sound like.
But at least I give people very important things, right?
You did. You did.
Yeah.
You sound like a recruiter.
A recruiter.
You sound like a recruiter or someone in HR or someone that will
serious. Okay, let me tell the truth. I interviewed people for 15 years. These nerves, okay, but I can't disclose much, right? Yeah, but I did that job. I didn't really want to say it. So, okay. One about the nerves, right? Everybody, like, you always feel those nerves, everybody can be scared. Even if you interview people, but the moment, let's say it's now your turn, right? You are behind the desk and then they are interviewing you. Well, you can't say, no, I used to interview people. You'll be scared just like anybody. But just that you need to be, how can I put it? You need to, like, just make sure that, okay, even if you see that the panel is serious, because most of the people, right, they get disqualified for the positions because of the nerves, number one. And you are desperate for this job. You don't want to mess up. If you don't want to mess up, you are worried, man. You want to be perfect, and you cannot be perfect, right? The panel, especially, okay, there is always the one, like in the panel, who is above those panelists. Maybe let's say the regional manager.
Oh yes.
And others they'll okay. Regional will be there, but depending on the post. If it's let's say manager position, normally some of the area managers will be there, right? If they are interviewing the area manager, the regional manager will be there, because remember the HR, okay, the area manager reports to the regional manager. That's how it works most normally.
Yeah.
Right, depending on the company.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. So if during that interview you see that they are serious, because we must just know that there are people who are there in the panel because of their work experience. They never attended workshops like how to do the interview professionally and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So majority of people, they didn't even study HR and they don't even know the basics. They attended like maybe 3 days workshop where facilitator was telling them about maybe how to conduct interviews and stuff like that. Right. So that is why I'm saying the person who is qualified, let's say who studied HR, they understand that people are anxious about the questions. They don't know what to expect. So they have a way of asking questions. Those now who got promotions without books, because the majority of people are like that, majority. Very few people are doing that job and then we find that maybe they have relevant qualifications for that. Somebody studied maybe social worker and what. Fortunately, because people pray, yeah, just like that lady was here. People pray, and then they see themselves. How can I make it my CV? So and then they see themselves doing that job, HR job, but they didn't, like, they don't have formal qualifications for those roles, right? So normally people like that, when they do interviews, they want to be too serious, because it's like now is how can I put it? It becomes performative.
They want us to feel their
yes, that now you are being interviewed and what, and then so what they always see on TVs when because majority of people, sources say to take too much of your time here. So majority of people, especially those who don't have, let's say, a relevant qualification for what they are doing, right? They normally watch maybe they normally see these things on TVs, and then now they want to mimic what they always see even on TVs in real world. You get what I mean now? Because they want to mimic what they always see on TVs, because remember, they didn't study these things. So I believe maybe they're not confident enough to do it, since they know that they don't have relevant qualifications for the job, right?
Yeah.
Now they become too serious now, because they want to show that now they are panelists. So this is
I'm sorry to come in while you are sharing, but for someone with 15 years experience, I can't let you go like this. I have a few questions that I want to ask you, and don't worry, they will not know. I did not ask you your employer. I don't know you. In the 15 years of your experience, do you believe that sometimes you guys would go and interview people, but you already have people in mind that you want to hire?
It happens a lot, Muslim. It happens a lot, because remember, because they cannot just take somebody with for legal reasons, because they can be sued, right? You cannot just take somebody, give him the position just like that, as if now it's like a backdoor something that happened through the back doors and something like a book. Because what if they get sued? They will never come with a substantial evidence that the person qualifies because they didn't do interviews. They can be sued by the ones who are, let's say, who got rejection.
Yeah.
They can be sued. I qualify, but we have information that Sisim Pendulo didn't go through the interview and she got the job.
Okay.
Till now we failed.
I think what you're saying
so
is
they
that
can still challenge it legally. So that is why sometimes these recruiters can, they can do interviews just for formality, if I can put it that way.
Okay. Then
just
my follow-up question
it can be done,
on that one.
And it happens. I don't want to lie. It happens.
I'm sorry if I'm guys ngicela nithape screen sami ngeke phela nginitholele information eduranga kamali nisende nama gifts. My follow-up question from that is saying the panel can go in and interview a person to make sure that, but they have someone in mind. What happens if the interview goes on and then you find that there's a candidate that did very much well, more than the person that you guys had in mind that you want to hire? Will that temper or will that affect the decision? Or even if you can meet a candidate whereby you're like, that person was so good, that person is more than Pendu, does it leave room for negotiation or you have your person in mind?
Hey, you ask me difficult questions. You put you on the spot.
They will never know. They will never know.
Let me put it this way. People must listen attentively now, because really, as a job hunter, you must understand. At the same time, it's not about, by requesting, it's not about sometimes like discouraging people, because we talk about what is happening in corporate world.
Yeah.
It's not about discouraging them, but they must be aware of these things. Yes. At least even if they are applying, but they must be aware, right? There is something that is very important that I want to tell them, right? Okay, let's say they have somebody in mind. The HR will, let's say, these guys who are in senior positions, they will have a discussion, right? They will say, there is somebody who is beating this one, the one we are looking for. It normally happens, if that happens, they can't just do it with people who don't have experience. Let me make an example. Let's say something like, the banks, someone from FNB wants to come to APSA, right? It's competing with people who are from, let's say, maybe shops and what and hardwares and something like that, maybe furniture shops, no? Obviously, this one who's from the bank is standing a good chance. You understand now? That is why I'm saying they can do it for formality, because this one, they can just show her there and there, but she's already aware of the industry. That is why this one has got more chances. But if it happens that there is somebody, let's say it's only one post, they don't have more than one post, right? And applicants, they have like, let's say 20 candidates. And there is one of those candidates is already beating the one you are looking for. You understand, Mosne? Yes. It means how many of them now? There's 2 people now. Right? Who qualify for this position? But just that now they wanted number 1 instead of number 2. But if they see that, this one, number 2 beats number 1. Are you following it, right?
Yes.
If they see that number 2 beats number 1, what they will do, they will, I'm a secret.
Abazi ukuthi khona lana khuluma.
I'm a secret abantu.
Angikwazi mina ngokuthatha kuphi.
Yeah. What they will do, they will put you on probation.
The number 2, that is actually number 1, will be on probation.
No.
Okay.
The one they are looking for, right? They can still put you on probation, maybe for 6 months.
Okay.
And it's allowed legal. No one can sue them. It's allowed legally.
Okay.
Maybe let's say it's 6 months. It can't be long. It can't even be 1 year. 6 months. Because they can't make it 3 months, but 6 months at least. Right? During that period, the number is increasing. It's now 138. So,
yes.
So it will be 6 months. That's where they will be monitoring your performance.
Okay.
Right? So in that 6 months period, that's where they will decide what they will do. After that 6 months, they can still remember it will be famous. You were aware that it will be 6 months. Yeah? And then they will still keep the information of the one of candidate B. They don't remember this thing is already on the system. They don't delete it. It will always be there. That is why I always say, if you get rejected as a job seeker somewhere, it doesn't mean when you failed. I always hear people, I failed. There is nothing like that you failed. They always keep your information. Remember, maybe the post was only for 2 people or 3 people or 4. Now, applicants, maybe the number of applicants was 50. They have to take 4 people, even if there are good people there, but they have to take 4 people. But these guys now who at least who are promising that they can do the job, they will keep them. Let's say there was like 5 more. They can still keep them. Especially if they know that maybe, okay, let's say that job you're applying for, they have some branches around.
Come back. I said you guys had a person in mind that you're looking for. Mara, someone is beating the person in mind. You said what will happen if you guys still really want this person? You will put this person on probation.
That one can still be on probation just to see.
You will hire the one that actually did well in the interview.
The one they are looking for.
Yeah, are you going to hire the person you guys decided to hire before the interview, or you'll hire the person that's doing well during the interview?
Okay. The one who did well during that interview, you can still get the job, right? But remember, there are people some people are very good when it comes to talking, guys. And HR managers are aware of that. But just that now, they cannot prove that if you can really do the actual job. But some people are very good when it comes to, they can impress you when they talk.
So the probation is so that if I do mistake, that
is why in corporates they like to put people on probation. Is because that's where they want to see now when, like, if you can do the actual job. Some people are very good guys in talking, they can impress the interviewer, especially, when I'm a private school. Some people are very, very good when it comes to, especially like with the language and all that. Some people are very good with the language. Maybe because of your background, because of your background. Because remember, it's very unfair to give you the job based on, let's say, on your fluency level. Because we know that you are not a white guy. This is not your language, right? They can be lenient. Sometimes you can make a mistake there and there when you talk, but they are aware that they're not interviewing a white person. That they are aware of. They are aware. If, let's say, let's say, the recruiter say, they only want fluent people, it will be very, very unfair. Especially because, remember, people have like different backgrounds. And you can be fluent, but when it comes to doing the job, I'm beating you. That is why it's very important now to put people on probation. That's why they want to see that, okay, you are very good. Your grammar was very good. They saw where you were studying S and Micros, what they're thinking, hey, this is multiracial schools and what. But they still want to see your performance when it comes to your KPIs and all that. If you can do the actual job now, they are done with your grammars and what, but they are interested in your actual job. So most of the people now during that probation, that's where they will fail. Because they can't now they can't do the job. They were very good in talking, but you can't do the job. So that's where they will see you during that period, and that's where they will see your strength. Now remember, they'll be using KPIs because everything in the company, especially, okay, let's say, but not only in leadership positions.
Mara ngiva ngathi question yami ngivile and ngiva ngathi isikhathi sami ngizosivala is, do you think there's a way that I can see if I'm just wasting my time? You guys already.
Oh, sorry, before we go, okay, I wanted to say something, just that you interjected. After that 6 months, that contract will be terminated, right? Remember, it was probation and it's fair. You were aware that it was probation. It's not permanent. It was probation for 6 months probation. That's where now that candidate number 2 will be called. They will do some interviews and then they will give that number 2 a chance. They can't just throw her away just because of you. They wanted you, but that one still deserves a chance with that one. They will. And especially if, okay, let's say they have different branches. If there is a vacancy, they will always remember that one who did very well. So don't just say because they didn't take me, they took Pendulo, I'm out. Don't just give up. You can get a call, maybe even if it's after 8 months. Come. Are you still interested? They can still do that. HR can do that. And then your question sources, and then you asking me something again, because I needed to say this just to show them that they mustn't give up. If they don't take you, maybe when you are better than the one they took. Because remember, guys, okay, something it's already coming now in my mind. Sometimes they take a lot into consideration before they decide to take you, right? Where you are staying, they can ask you questions. Do you have kids? And all of that. There are these questions that will determine if they can take you or not. Right? Where are you staying? Let's say distance between where you are staying and your workplace. They're going to ask you those questions now. If you say you have a 3 months baby or 3 months, who is looking after that child? Is there somebody who's looking after your child? They'll ask you like personal questions. Those personal questions will decide if they can take you. That is why other companies want your social media link. Before they decide, they want to check what you are posting and all of that. So if you are busy posting naked people, it will impact their decision. Or you are posting violence and what, and then they check and then they decide, let's not take this one. Because there is a lot to consider apart from your fluency level and showing that you can do the job. There are these personal questions they must ask, and then their decisions are based on your answers when it comes to these personal questions.
That's why I wanted you to come in. When I joined, I felt it in my bones that you have so much content that we can learn from. Because is it true that you guys decide how much you want to pay me based on my previous payslip? And if I can say no, you can increase the salary
based on your previous. Is illegal, right, to ask for somebody's payslip, because payslip is confidential.
Mara, they always ask for a pay slip. Guys, am I the only one?
Yeah, they do it, but the pay slip is really, they are not allowed to ask you how much you were earning. They are not allowed to ask you that, but they do ask, but they are not allowed.
Can I say no?
You have a right to say you cannot disclose. Yeah, because okay. When people ask you how much, how much are you expecting to get?
Yes.
You don't give them the figure, because that's where they see if they can rob you. Once you give them information about maybe when you want this amount, that's where, let's say their budget, right? Because they must have a budget, mostly, for that position. Let's say the budget was 20K to 30K. If they ask you how much, because you mustn't give them a figure, if they say how much are you expecting to get for this role, and then when you end up saying 16,000, you see, now it means you are giving them an upper hand now to rob you. Because remember, their budget is 20K to 30K. Where now you said yourself that you are comfortable with the 16,000, so they will definitely give you 16,000. At least the company is saving now.
So it's true that people can do the same job in a company and have different salaries.
It happens a lot, most. They can give you 15,000. The other one was earning 25,000. A big gap. They can still do that for the same job. It's because when you mention the figure, so you gave them the upper hand now. Since when you are mentioning the figure, so they will take that opportunity and save the man. So that is why it's very imperative to say to that HR, let's negotiate based on your budget. I'm just giving them tips now. If they ask you about how much you are expecting, negotiate based on their budget. How much was their budget? And then refrain from giving them a figure. Yes, it happens most, especially with my private company. Yeah, especially with my private company, because I don't know much about a public public sector, private companies. So refrain from talking about a figure. Ask them about their budget. Then they'll be aware that this one is clever. This one.
They're not gonna. They'll say, "This one we can't control them and letting you go." Because let me make an example. I have the skill, I have the qualification, but I haven't been employed for the whole year or 2 years. I'll probably take anything and whatever that they offer. Do you really think? I think this also goes back to, we have this corporate thing to say, but white people earn more than black people, and then some
they do that
because white people can negotiate, black people can't negotiate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's go there. People must listen carefully now when you talk about these things, because maybe someone will be asked questions next week. We don't know.
Yeah.
So normally whites. Okay, let me tell you example. Why most of the companies want. I don't want to sound racist. That's why. How can I put it? I don't want to sound racist.
You can keep it at why other people earn more than others.
Oh, yeah. HR managers normally they play that role for the company because they have more information about how people live in the locations and all that. That is why it's very, very rare to see a white lady working as an HR where blacks are dominating. If blacks are dominating there, they want a black person as an HR.
Why?
Do you understand why?
Also, it's manipulated because he knows our struggles.
No. Wait. Don't rush. Because they're manipulating. Those are big weights now. So let's say, I know the things, I want to put things in a nice way now.
Yes, in a professional way. Me and you will
mustn't be rap. Because sometimes you say something, let's say someone is an HR here and then they end up in they get offended and what. I don't want to offend people. Let me put it in a nice way. Most of the companies, let's say if they know that, okay, our company, okay, let's say maybe that area, not region now, the area. Let's say, if I say the area, maybe I talk about, let's say, half of Johannesburg, maybe they need one HR manager for half of Johannesburg. Let's say they have branches, right?
Yeah.
Half of them, they need HR will deal with half of Johannesburg, right? If they see that, okay, majority of maybe managers they have and the staff they have is this race, let's say maybe it's black people, HR will be black, right? Yeah. So, meaning whites don't really know about how we live in the locations and stuff like that. No, they don't really know. But the black person knows how people live in the locations, stuff like that. Right. Meaning, even when they negotiate salaries now, they know when your kids are studying for free. You understand? They know, or most of these guys, they rent 1,000 rand. They know those things. You understand now? So you can't really rob them, especially when they negotiate how much you can get now. Because they know. Let's say you say, okay, I'm staying somewhere. Where are you staying? You say, I'm staying there. You give the name or maybe of the location. This HR knows that place. They know that, okay, normally people who stay there, the rent is always, but is below maybe 1.5, something like that. They are aware maybe of those areas. Especially black people, they know. Right? Now, you say you have kids. Okay. And then they are, well, okay. You are staying with them. You say, yes. Obviously, most they are somewhere in the location, then they don't pay school fees there. It's the government school. Now when they decide based on the information you are giving them. They end up saying they can end up paying you 15,000. Let's say they know that with 15,000 at least you will afford a car, yeah, but you still survive. 15,000 will be now. Let's say you are a assistant manager or manager, they can end up paying 15,000. That is why, in most cases, for the very same job, if let's say a white guy is working somewhere for the same job, when you check, yeah, man, this one we do the same job, but the lifestyle can tell that this one is any more than you. The lifestyle can tell, Muslim. That's why I'm saying when they negotiate, they understand that, okay, this one, his kids are studying somewhere there, and then obviously they pay school fees, this ones, and it's very expensive there. And this applicant, they know that, okay, because of the area, that area it's expensive to stay there. Yeah, so they negotiate based on all those factors now when they pay you. That is why I'm saying, okay, that is why I'm saying refrain from, because remember, this HR, that's what I'm saying, during that interview, when it comes to these personal questions, you'll see it's always HR who's asking you questions, because they know you'll be more comfortable with, and then you just pour everything from your heart. That's where they trap you there.
Yes, because you want the job. What should I say?
But refrain from saying, okay, now I can say, if you are applying for the job, right, change your address, man.
And stay closer.
You are staying in a place that, okay, let's say they know that most of people there, they are staying in shacks. They will take advantage. They will take advantage to rob you because they say, well, now you don't even pay rent, you're staying in a shack. They know those places, okay, maybe Mandela Park or something, Freedom Square and what. They know, oh, okay, let's rob this one. Because already where now you're not paying rent, you stay in a shack. Okay, they see, the kids are not paying school fees there in Mandela Park. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. When you apply, use your brother's address, man. Maybe who's staying, maybe almost in
Cape Town.
But okay, no. Okay. Let's say you are staying in Cape Town. Don't your physical address on your CV, it mustn't say Bloemfontein, man. I'm not saying those things. I'm not saying that. Because if you are too far now, it will disadvantage you there. Because you are too farmers. Maybe you will give them problems. You want transfers after 6 months, and you are crying. You want to go back home. You will see recruiters don't want things like that. Somebody will be complaining about the distance. I'm from Eastern Cape. And I can't work here in Joburg for 3 years. I need to go back home. They don't want those stories. That's why I'm saying, if you are, let's say, in Cape Town, example, and the post is in Cape Town, get the address, maybe your brother's address, man, who's staying maybe in town, so that they know that, hey, you are paying bills. There are bills there because of the area where you are staying. They cannot ask you who was paying the bond there. No, it's not their place to ask. Let's say it's Joburg. You say, I'm staying in Sentin. They don't know who is paying for your bills there. It's not their place, but they want to know where you are staying. The moment you mention those nice places, they know, this one has bills to pay, serious bills to pay, and then they can adjust nicely now based on where you are staying. Don't say you are staying in shacks, because you give them an upper hand to rob you now. It means you won't get the amount you deserve now just because of where you are staying and all that. That's why I always say, HR manager is not your friend. They don't say anything. Yes, they want you to trust them. It's just because they want your info to, we call it unsolicited information that people get. They like to be friendly and talk to you. How's your family? They want your information. Be careful. Don't avoid to give them your information, because they still use it to save emotional damage.
I'm not okay as well. I'm not okay.
So avoid disclosing your personal information. Don't say to the HR when you are the breadwinner, you are looking after 20 people. They mustn't just know those things unless maybe let's say you were in a hearing, and then now just to mitigate those are mitigating factors. Let's say you are in a disciplinary inquiry. They are asking, okay, why must we not fire you? That's why you say, hey, I'm a breadwinner. That's why you can say all those things now, because you have to there just to make your case softer. Maybe they'll say, hey, this person is looking after 20 people. Let's give her a final warning. Maybe because of things that you told them, that when you are looking after 20 people and what, and it was your first time to make this kind of mistake. And then now when they sit down, they said, this one sounds very sincere and it looks like she's showing remorse. Let's give this one a last chance. Then they give you maybe final warning. They said, make sure you don't make a similar mistake. Let's give you, maybe because of those mitigating factors you'll be giving there. So don't just have a conversation with HR and then you say, I'm a breadwinner. Or don't say those things, because they can still use them to rob you. Because when they say they think you are desperate, so they can still rob you. They can still capitalize on your situation. So don't give them that information, because we are Yeah.
If I already signed and agreed to the contract that I was given, I can't pull out.
Let's say you pass the interview, then they give you the contract to sign. You already signed. Now you want to quit. You get another job. Is that what you are saying?
No, I mean, I'm like, yeah, guys, now I know that I want more money. Is it going to be possible?
You can still challenge them, and then as long as you give them valid reasons for saying, hey, but you're not happy with this amount, but give them reasons where you are staying and all that, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, bon? And then they will pick it out that, maybe they are giving you what you were earning. So at least if you were earning 15K, maybe somewhere, it's unfair, man, to get the same amount. That's why they will say, let's increase it a bit. They will say, HR will say, okay, what if we add maybe 2,000? Is it okay? They can still negotiate it even after you sign contract.
What if I show them that my salary does not cover my monthly bills? Would they say, okay, let's add 5,000?
That is honesty, that is honesty, because remember, they have budget for that role, and their budget maybe was 25K, and when you are already earning 17, they can still adjust it. They can, because when they didn't tell you about the money that is maybe that is budgeted for that specific position. They already know. Yeah. And then when I remember, you didn't know, right? And then you end up accepting maybe 17,000. Their budget was 25,000. If you complain, but at least what you are saying, man, he must give them valid reasons for saying that. Valid reasons.
When I start to ask questions, I think I'm even showing that now. I'm starting to ask my own personal questions. But thank you so much for so much insight. I'm even going over time now. Do you think it's true that HR said salary is confidential because they wanted to control us not knowing how much the other person is earning, because they probably earn more than me? I used to say that to my friend, I feel like this thing, Oguti, salary is a secret, especially in the Black community, especially in our families. It is really, it was instilled in us so that we can keep our misery to ourselves, because even your parents, I don't know how this happens, but they never think you earn less than what you earn. They always think you earn more than what you earn. And HR at work, they say that salary is confidential. If you can share it with your other person, it can be even a disciplinary hearing. Do you think this is why they want?
I'm looking at the comment. Let me read it. I wish I can unhear some of this information.
This information is traumatizing.
Okay. But it's good. I know. But do you think maybe I'm discouraging people? Yeah?
No, information.
Because I said, even if they didn't take you, don't just give up. They have some reasons why. Maybe their target was candidate one. So it might happen that after 6 months can still get a call. So don't just give up if they don't take you. They didn't take maybe based on not good to you can't speak English and what. Maybe it's because of where you are staying.
No,
you are staying too far, maybe from the workplace. It's not that we're now putile or what. It's not. It doesn't work like that. Most of the people, right, that are getting jobs, don't think that those people are better than you. They have reasons for taking that one. It's not about maybe you are too. I think okay, fluency depends on the role you are going to play. Right. If you are a cashier, remember you are a cashier. They are not expecting you to interview to be fluent like maybe a university professor or something. No, you are not an English teacher there. Even if you can break English there and there, they don't care, right? As long as you can express yourself, it's okay, they are done. So meaning even if they didn't take you, it's because of certain, they have their own reasons, man. Not that when maybe you are you're not a good communicator or what. But it's okay. Do you know what some HR do, right? What they do? Even if, okay, sometimes they can ask you to explain something in your own language, especially let's say if the HR is not a white person. Let's say HR is the rest was maybe, let's say, Indians and whites and colors and what. HR is a black person there. They can still say, explain in your own language. That's where if they want to hear exactly, if you know how to do this thing, just explain and see. And then they can still say, leave English, say it in your own language. They want to hear if because sometimes there is what maybe you can't explain it because of you don't know how to frame it in English in the right way. And you're not confident enough to say it. Not because you don't have answers. No, you're not confident enough to say it in a foreign language. And then they want you to say it in your own language now. Just to see. That is why I'm saying, if getting the job was about being too fluent, many people wouldn't get the job, I'm telling you. Yeah. So you asked me something. I think it is something that you asked, or maybe I jumped your question.
Let me open up for the people, guys. You know that my session ends at 7:30. Now it's 8:15. I want to close and give you an opportunity to ask Mfugeng the question.
Okay, one more thing before I forget, and it's very, very important.
Yes,
guys, stop changing numbers, the cell phone numbers, if you know that you are looking for the job. Because just imagine, I remember we used to take old CVs to check. Let's say the people you have, they left, they get better jobs. You have to look for those CVs, old CVs. When you phone those people, you find that you can't get hold of them. Especially if they drop those CVs, let's say maybe 1 year ago or 2 years ago. They normally change phone numbers. That's what I'm saying. Avoid this changing phone numbers every day. Mm-hmm. Just imagine you were going to get the best job that was going to pay you like 30K. Where now, because you were avoiding a boyfriend and then you block him, you change his SIM card. Just imagine how much it will cost you, that thing.
Oh.
So don't change phone numbers if you know that you always apply for the jobs. Because the company can still phone you even after 2 years. They will say, come. I know, we did it before. We did that many times. And those people gave up. They thought they failed. It's not about failing. It's because of the reasons why. Not about failing. We can't take you maybe because you are too far from the workplace. See, and there are things that we pick up that no, we can't take you based on 1, 2, 3. That's why I'm saying some places, okay, let's say they specify on their post that Afrikaans is one of the requirements. You understand? So it means for that area, they want somebody who is fluent in Afrikaans. Right? Then, if they advertise with posts and then they interview these candidates, are you aware that there are some people who are very, very good? They are better than candidate number 1. But just that now, candidate number 1 is not good with this Afrikaans, maybe. Example, because maybe it's like they deal with customers and most of their clients are using maybe that Afrikaans. Do you see that even if you are good at certain things, or no, okay, let's say you are still, you didn't do well on other things, but the fact that you are very good in the language that they are looking for, then you are standing a good chance to get that job. because of the language, okay, you will fit most. And remember, even if they ask you and then when you don't know other things, it's not because you are stupid. They know people get training after getting the job. You'll still go for inductions. They will still train you. HR knows that you can't be perfect. They will still teach you the job. Don't worry that we're now put in the word. It's not about that. They will, if they want you, they will take you and then you'll get trainings. So it's not about where now you made mistakes when you talk on what. No.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mfukeng. And I see that you gave us too much information. We're still going to sleep. I think people have too much anxiety after this.
They will still digest what I'm saying.
Yeah, as a country, we're recovering because we're watching the polygamist and then we got serious anxiety.
Yeah.
Then now we recovered. We meet you. Too much anxiety. Now I want to imagine now when I go to work.
I think I gave a lot of information, guys. This information, you must pay me 10,000 rand for this information. It's too much, this information. So yeah, no, don't give up, guys. If you are still job hunting and then they didn't take you, it's not because when you are stupid and what gain your confidence, and then what if you know that you were battling to express yourself, ne? What I can advise you guys, take your phone, download the ChatGPT, switch it to what they call it, audio. Talk to this. You know, guys, us blacks, we don't speak English at home, guys, right? English is like a foreign language to us. Just imagine now when they ask you questions and then you are saying you use filler words now. It's because I know, you know what, white people know it's not our language. They know that you are busy translating in your head from Swati to English. You are trying to construct a sentence now because it's not your own language. So that's why I'm saying, guys, don't worry even if you are not fluent. They are aware that you are not a white person when they call you for interview. They are aware. So don't worry that when you made a mistake with the language. So that's why they say, okay, take your time. They know that you are busy when translating in your head because it's not your language, right? I can say to job seekers, right? When you're alone, right? Close your door, switch it to, or take your phone, download ChatGPT, switch it to audio. At least every day, chat with this ChatGPT for like 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Talk, start a topic, but make sure, don't make it too formal. Prompt it, say ChatGPT, I want like for casual setting. For casual, not formal setting. Just start with casual setting. Talk to this AI almost every day. That's where you'll get chance to practice. To practice English. You are practicing every day now. Because really, guys, we don't stay with white people 24/7. Sometimes it's because during working hours, yes, maybe your supervisor speaks English. That's where you speak English, only. But when you get home, there is no English, guys. So that's why I'm saying, especially if you are a job seeker, you are always indoors speaking your Zulu the whole month. You only speak to a white person at the bank. That's why I'm saying you need AI. Practice with AI. Every day, speak that English. Then you will see. You will have confidence now to express yourself during the interview. Because if you are scared that maybe your grammar is not good and what, it will affect the way you respond. So maybe somebody they can even think you'll be incompetent or something. No, maybe it's because you are not used to this language.
So use AI. Going to close my session now because I have a prayer session now at 8:30. Guys, you guys are busy saying Mr. Mfukeng, but I don't see any gifts to him. You guys are not liking the session. The next session I'm going to have is going to be on Zoom Thursday. Our club, Let's Apply Together club, will meet every Thursday, 7 p.m. It is 99 Rand. 99 Rand, guys, because I don't want to work with people that are not committed. 99 Rand, 50 Rand is the registration fee. It is once off. Thank you so much, Mr. Mfukeng. I've learned a lot. Yo, I wanna know. This session was mine as well, more than any other thing. And I really hope we will engage more. I really want to learn from you, and I believe that there are a lot of things. Salary structure. I think there's a lot that we can learn from you. But for today's session, I think guys would end it right here. This is where we are landing. Zama, I'll make sure that I talk to my admin to make sure to respond. You can't wait for the next session. Me too. This session was actually not prompt. We were supposed to have a guest. The guest could not show up in the Zoom session, and then I have this session. I love hearing your stories. It was nice to hear your experiences, and I look forward to hearing more and meeting more people like Mr. Mfukeng. For now, good night, guys. God bless. Nyabonga kakhulu, Mr. Mfukeng, for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, let me just wrap up before I leave. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. I'm not a disclaimer. I'm not an expert, guys. I learn like everyone. Yeah, we always do research. If you're not sure, yeah, that's why I'm making disclaimer. I'm not an expert, guys. Yeah, I always learn like everybody, guys. Thank you so much for welcoming me. It was not even easy to be on the panel. Remember, I said it's hard because I was with people here, so I had to shift a bit, go to another room. No, thank you so much. At least I managed to, at least to impact your people with knowledge, and then I believe it was very informative. People learned a lot. Yeah, just that now, unfortunately, in Sotho we say, it means it's not easy to pour out everything, right? Yeah, we don't, because I will forget some of the things. It's not like I'm not saying I'm gatekeeping information. No, I'm not gatekeeping. Just that now, when I say we don't pour out everything, just because we can leave some of the things, but I didn't give your people crumbs, ne? I gave them something solid.
Steak.
It's not crumbs, and then people learn a lot, people learn a lot. And thank you so much.
Aizabonga, please do join even next time. I would like to hear your input in whatever topics that we'll tackle going forward.
Yeah, no, especially like in maybe things that are happening in the workplaces and all that. We can still have a chat, God. We can still have a chat. Yeah.
Let me follow you quickly.
So that things to expect sometimes, even after getting these jobs. But I don't think maybe you're only focusing on when someone is looking for a job. You can still get a job and then what to expect after and things like that. Just to have that conversation, because there are people who follow you and then now they got a job. Things like that. Some people still need some tips. After getting this job and then what maybe can I expect? In things like that. And then we can still chat, about those things, and then
okay.
Because we talk from experience now. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good night. Bye, guys. Nim follow DM. Good night and bye bye.
Bye.